Hey everyone, welcome to the Confused Wanderer, and I'm Todd, and I've got Bryce here from Esoteric Atlanta, and today we're going to talk to Lou.
All right.
Hello, who do we have with us? It's the same Lou we've been talking to, service to others, and you're here for unconditional love for others.
Explain who Lou is.
Okay, Lou is a fourth density service to others social memory complex, but not just that. Lou is also the oversoul of fourth density, a fourth density service to others social memory complex. And so when we're talking to Lou, we're basically talking to millions of souls that have grouped their consciousness together.
Angels. What we would call angels.
Right. Yeah. And so, yeah. Anything to add to that, Bryce?
Yeah, because I think sometimes we forget that people are signing on to these videos. So you guys make sure, and they don't know about like the law of one or the template.
Right.
So please make sure to go on Todd's channel and look at his playlist, the raw material, the law of one. And you are going to be making a video that explains all the terms that we use as well for people to follow what Lou is saying.
Because we've noticed people are getting a little confused, and it seems like some people, and I understand why, some people are jumping in and starting to watch the Lou videos right away. And our suggestion is to first get the foundation of understanding through the basics of the law of one material as explained through Ra, Don Elkin's project, channeling project, and that will help give you a foundational understanding in, how spiritual evolution, the template, right? Yeah.
Well, I think people are really confused. We've been looking at comments, and I think, and this is just totally normal, I think people are really confused because of the indoctrination of religion. Whether people have pulled away from religion or not, there's still like a programming there. And so we think of like individual angels like Michael, Gabriel, all that kind of stuff. And all those are aspects of Lou. We also got a question. We talked a lot about this. So we're in third density. And so the only help we get is from fourth density, because we envelop second density, fourth density envelops us, and it goes up. And it doesn't mean, I want to make this very, very clear, because it's not a pecking order. Like sixth density is no more important than first density.
It's a different level of the illusion.
Right. It's a different level of the illusion and of conscious understanding. And I use this example often. I think you used it in a comment too. Yeah. Like if you're a parent and you have multiple children of multiple ages and grades, you don't love your kindergartner any more or less than like your senior in high school. Even they're just different ages, but the love is the same, right? Yeah. And you wouldn't use the same logic if your 18-year-old was having a bad day than like your 5-year-old, because their level of understanding is different. Right. And so that is why fourth density envelops us, fifth density envelops fourth, sixth envelops fifth, and so on, because it has to do, but God is an aspect of all of these densities. Right. All right. So I would highly suggest reading the law of one to understand that template of who Lou is. Right. And so at the positive side, so when after third, we're in third, which is choice. So we either go after this life, we either go service to self or service to others. Service to self is the negative or dark polarity, which would be like demons. And then service to others is like angels, the positive. And service to self is what has a pecking order. Service to self is what individuates. Service to others works collectively together.
Right. And so when you talk about guides, plural, that would be fourth guides, plural.
Yeah.
Well, I would know if you were channeling and there were different guides.
Oh, yeah. That would be negative.
Exactly.
That would be negative.
Right. Yeah. I understand. You didn't understand where I was going. So, yeah. So that would be negative.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you're talking to the same individual entity, not that you shouldn't you should still verify, but.
And Lou even says to have discernment with Lou. Like we're not holding anybody. We're not a cult. We're not the Cassiopeians. We're not forcing you to believe something if you don't want to believe it.
Right.
This is just, it is what it is. And so take what you want from this. You know, it's for anybody. And you always verify, which is something Laura Knight of the Cassiopeans never does.
Right.
You always ask who you're speaking with, if they're service to others or service to self,
Right.
and if they are here for unconditional love for others.
Right.
And the Cassiopeans have stated that they were service to self, that they're negative
Right.
in the beginning. And so
there's been no further verification.
There's no further verification.
Right.
It's always individual names, which is another indication that they're service to self.
And that's at the root of the deception there with the Cassiopeans, you know. And anything to add to that, Lou?
Laura makes stuff up.
Right.
Laura also makes stuff up. So some of it is not even coming from anywhere but Laura's own imagination.
And we have no proof that she's even channeling.
Right. She never does like what we do.
Yes. And we know from the beginning it was Frederick Ireland that was the channeler. And after 2001, I think it was, when Frederick Ireland went his separate way, you know, for all we know, Laura's been making it up as she goes from there on out.
Oh, and she gets paid to promote certain things. We talked about that in last. She gets paid to say certain things through the Cassiopeans.
Right.
Now, one thing I also want to clarify too, because I'm the one reading the board. So you'll see Lou, and I've asked Lou always to go a little bit slower because in the beginning he does go really fast. And I think he's going really fast to kind of show you guys that it's not us, it's him. But I'm the one reading the board. And so it does take energy. So when Todd and I do this, it doesn't take energy from us. Like, we're fine when we're done. That's another sign.
Right.
If it's service to self, it's going to drain you of energy. If it's service to others, Lou is using Lou's own energy to communicate through the board. So if I feel like I know the word he's trying to say, I'll say it. And if it's correct, he goes to yes. If it's not correct, he keeps spelling the word out. So if you see that happening where I say something and it goes straight to yes, it's because I figured the word out. And so I could just say the word so he can move on to the next word. He also... Yes.
Yes. Right. Yeah. So it's more efficient. We're respecting Lou and Lou's energy that Lou is giving us here in their service, and so it just makes things move a little faster and a little smoother that way.
Yeah. He also moves in figure eights. People notice that. So when he's looking, or they're looking for words, you'll see the figure eights happening. That's what's going. He's building the energy up to spell the word. Clarify that. Also, yes, he does misspell some words sometimes, but as Lou said, somebody asked that question once, and Lou was like, "Why do you misspell?" Or what do you say? How do you know you're spelling it right?
Right.
You know, and so
throughout history, words have been spelled in different ways, and that's just the way that it is.
As long as we know what the message is, that's what's important. So, So if you guys have any more questions about that, let us know in the comment section. This is a pre-record because we know that there's some topics that Lou wanted to speak about that we haven't gotten to, but we are going to be doing public questions soon, and we're going to be setting up a members only for private stuff.
Yeah. So if you are interested in asking Lou private questions, then you can become a member of the Confused Wanderer channel, and at least once a month we'll have a private members only chat with Lou, and you can get all your personal questions out, and then we won't post those videos publicly, but you'll be able to access those videos through a special link, and so we'll give you more.
It'll be on your channel. It's just only people who are members can watch them.
Okay, I see. I wasn't sure exactly.
Yeah. So and this was Lou's idea, because a lot of people have been asking, rightly so, they've been asking private information, but Lou does not want to answer private questions for the whole world to see, right? Because that puts you in danger.
Right.
And so this is a way to set a really cheap way to keep it up behind like super cheap a month paywall, so that you guys can have a more intimate setting where private answers, Lou can help in a deeper way. So,
and just to clarify that too, we're still going to be putting out tons of free content.
Yes.
So we're not going to be bringing Lou behind a paywall.
No, never. This is just for private stuff. And it's some people who do private channelings, they'll charge like $200 an hour. We're only doing this on memberships on YouTube, which is really cheap, just to help people in a safe way. And the beautiful thing about memberships too, guys, is that you can gift memberships to people. And so if you feel inclined to gift somebody a membership, that is open as well. And you can go month by month if you want to. It's not, you don't have to sign up for a whole year. And so it's just a way.
Cancel anytime.
Yeah, it's just a way for us to be as safe as possible, helping individuals, especially on a global scale, but we are not going to stop the public stuff either, which is more general. Like this is a public one. We like to do this live, but we know we're backed up on stuff. So we decided to do some pre-records so that we can get the stuff out that Lou wants to talk about so that we can return to some of y'all's questions and stuff like that. So anyway, all righty.
All right.
Should we get started? Yes, you wanted to talk about blood.
Yeah.
What do you want to say first about blood? Oh, yes. What I teach. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's saying that blood. So we talk a lot about prakriti and purusha.
Yeah. What was that? That
he was saying that blood is the life expression of prana. And when he said that eye of the soul, I was like, oh, like prakriti and purusha. So I actually, it's kind of funny because this just kind of confirmed the way I teach. So you're saying the way that I teach this is correct in my classes. Okay, so we talk a lot about prakriti and purusha. Maybe you can tag the video we did comparing the Cassiopeans to prakriti and purusha.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the foundation of spirituality. Like really, so that's what Lou is starting with. So literally, you really have no business really even doing any channeling or being involved in any type of spiritual divination if you don't understand prakriti and purusha. Is that correct, Lou? Yes. So you need to know what prakriti and purusha is. And this is for your own protection as well, because prakriti is matter, it's nature. Purusha is the soul.
So yeah, prakriti would be something that has a birth, life, and a death.
Yes. So and therefore, so prakriti has 2 rules. Purusha has 1 rule. So the laws of prakriti, the rules of prakriti, it has a birth, life, and a death, a beginning, a middle, and end. So that's the first law. And because of the first law, that brings us to the second law. That means it's always in fluctuation of change, which Patanjali theorizes that that's what causes a lot of our suffering. So like our identities in this life, like I'm Bryce, this is Todd, Robbie, our dog, you watching, this is prakriti. And so our suffering comes from the fact that I think permanently that I'm always going to be Bryce.
Right.
But Bryce is going to die one day, right? There's an end point.
So the suffering is happening because of the grasping on to something that's going to eventually pass away.
Yeah, it's like, as Sharat would say, it's like holding sand in your fingers.
Right. Yeah.
And so that's the basis. So then what is the soul? Well, the soul is the engine that creates the Shakti or the Prakriti. Shakti is the same. It's the creation of the soul. And so when you're in your body, spiritually speaking, your body and your ego, so the ego would be your Prakriti, your false sense of self. I'm not talking about being prideful, that's not, it's just the false identity. Bryce is the ego, Todd is the ego, Robbie's the ego. When you're stuck in that illusion that your ego is your real self, it leads to, and you don't understand that, and you're going through a lot of channeling stuff, that's what leads to something like the Cassiopeans.
Right.
Because the Lizzies, the demons, the fourth entity negative are going to play on that.
And they're going to feed that ego.
Yes.
They're going to feed the prakriti. Yes.
Yes. Because that's what causes suffering. Whereas the real spirituality is understanding that you're dealing with 2 different dualities. One is real and one isn't. Purusha, the rule of Purusha or the soul is that it's just always existed.
Right.
It never is in fluctuation. Yeah. And so I like to say it's like a roller coaster, like an amusement park. Your soul is in this amusement park and every life is a different ride. Yeah. So one life you're in this crazy roller coaster, the Batman ride. Yeah. And when you're in the ride, you think you're the ride, but you're actually and you get off and you go to the next ride, and they create a simulation of experience for your soul to experience these things, even though they're going to go away, they're not real. Yeah. So when Lou's talking about blood being the foundation, so if we look at the essence of the soul, the consciousness, that's not the body, the energetic portion of you, that soul is creating the experience to house its own physical or its spiritual manifestation within the vessel, while also creating things in the vessel that are going to give it the simulation it needs to experience the life, the karmic and the dharmic life it needs to. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you want to add to that?
No, that's great.
So the blood is the basis of that. So Lou was saying blood, the blood that flows through your body, that is the physical manifestation of your life force, which is your soul. The way it moves through the body, it's not your soul.
Right.
but it's the physical manifestation. So when we start with, when our soul is, it's like Build-A-Bear, you know, you get to go to the store and build your bears, build your
Right.
terror.
Yeah.
You're building your body, right? So the
Yeah.
first thing you do to generate the energetic properties of the experience, the roller coaster ride your soul's wants for this, is you look at what blood type is needed to host that pranic reaction.
Right. So the first thing that your Purusha creates would be blood. Is that correct, Lou? Oh, that's pretty cool. I never thought about that way.
Now think about it this way.
That's
so
the building block.
That's the building block. So now we get even, should I be talking about oxygen and breath as well? That's what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah.
Okay, so we look at the physical manifestation of where your heart is in your chest. I was taught growing up it was on the left side of the body. Now they're teaching it's the center. I'm not even going to go into
Oh, that's weird because I was taught it was in the center. Oh,
no,
right.
Left.
Oh, yeah,
you
left.
put
Right.
Your right hand on the left side. Yeah.
Right.
Now, wherever. That's a totally different subject for a different day. LOL. Yes. Okay. So wherever your heart is in your body, what's on either side of your heart?
Lungs.
Mm-hmm. So we've been taught our whole lives that the heart pumps, but now we're learning, and Krishnamacharya and Health Healing and Beyond, and he would always say, no, the heart's a valve. It's the lungs that pump.
Right.
And Desikachar, who since past, his son would make fun of his dad for not being up on science. But now just the past 5 years, scientists are rolling that back and saying, actually, the heart doesn't pump. It's the lungs that pump the heart with the oxygen.
Right.
So that's the valve. The heart is the valve. Now, when we think about cardiovascular work, that's cardio heart vascular vein system. So the heart rate rises, the lungs pump, and the oxygen fuels the spreading and the movement of blood. We know that your own personal blood is your greatest healer. It's your sacred DNA. When we have tight areas in our body, we have stiffness,
we don't have blood flow.
We don't have blood flow. When we have injury and disease, there's not a lot of blood flow. And so what exercise does, what cupping does, massage therapy, is to try to move the stuck blood for you to get your own blood flow back in that moving life. Now, again, we talk about it with the oxygen and the breath. In yoga, breathing practices are called what?
Pranayama.
Pranayama. So prana. So he said blood is the prana life force. Pranayama. That translates to extending life's capacity through breath. That's what pranayama translates to. So the blood, the physical blood and the breath are working, even the physical work together to extend your life force.
Right.
Okay. And the breath is like the weaving of the soul and the body. Like you come into this world on an inhale, you leave the world on an exhale.
So breathe. Yeah. Okay.
So that's working together in the base of the body, taking the breath of life.
Potentiating the spirit.
In body. So potentiating the spirit in body. It's keeping the spirit in the body.
Right.
It's like the thread, right? So it threads, it holds the soul within its body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why the ancient traditions.
So through deep breathing practices, exercise, you're literally bringing your soul further and deeper into your body and your cells. Yes.
Which is the awareness. Yes, because the goal of spirituality is not to leave your body.
Right.
So is the goal of, let me ask you this question, is the goal of spirituality to lead or to leave or transcend your body? Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He's saying that's where there's been a lot of infiltration. So I'm gonna paraphrase what I think you were trying to say, Lou.
Yeah.
So in mainstream spirituality, in the wider world of spirituality, people believe,
especially in Eastern religion.
No.
Okay, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead because Eastern religion got it right.
Oh,
so we in the Western world, we think divination, all this stuff. We're trying to leave the body. We're trying to transcend it, even though Lou was saying we think for some reason when we transcend our body, we're going to be taking our identity with us.
Right.
So it's this crazy making.
Right.
Where the point of spirituality, and I've said this before, this point of spirituality is getting familiar with your own spirit, which lives within your DNA and your cells in this experience. And that's what Lou is saying. So the reason why pranayama technique in Eastern philosophy is big because it's pulling your soul into the experience karmically that it needs to experience. And from what I understand, Lou, correct me if I'm wrong, if we avoid the karmic experience, we just have to do the ride over again. So we just don't move forward. Which is why you said some people are having to do this life like 20, they keep having to come back over and over and over again because they're not doing the work that they're here to do.
Right.
And so people
too trapped in the illusion. Right.
But yet trying to transcend the illusion while taking the illusion with you.
Right.
Wild and crazy making wild and crazy.
And the reason I was talking about parts of Eastern religion is because I guess there's a misconception within some Eastern religions, and the confusion doesn't lie within the text. I don't think the confusion lies within the translation of the text, that we need to get out of this karmic loop of third density, that we have to reach some level of quote unquote enlightenment to be able to escape. And the methods that they give through the mistranslation or the Lizzie infiltration into that is they think that they have to be able to transcend the body and reach some certain level of enlightenment to be able to escape.
You're saying no, Todd, no.
Right. Yeah. No, I understand.
Wait, are you trying to correct Todd that it wasn't the Eastern teachers that mistranslated it? It was the Western teachers taking from the Eastern teachers?
Okay.
So the Eastern, because not once did Patabi Joyce or Shura or anybody ever tell us, like, find enlightenment, get out of your body.
Well, I mean, maybe I totally misunderstood, but Buddhist teachings talk about that?
No. You got to be in body.
Right.
That's the basis of Buddhist teachings.
But that's interesting because how did I read all of these books and Lizzie?
Yeah, the Lizzie's got you.
Wow.
Snared you.
Yeah. Oh, it wasn't just me. I mean, there were many others out there. Right. Yeah. And so that's where you get that's where you get off the path, because they talk about, these long hours of meditation and how they would go up into the caves and
disassociation.
Right. Yeah. Meditation, seated meditation, and disassociation. But there were all these talks within the Buddhist religion of people going off to these long retreats in caves and meditating for
but that's,
months
he's saying
at a time.
That's not what the Buddha was saying, though. And the really good teachers in the East know this. Like Shura told us never to do seated meditation.
Right. But
you can't do that.
Yes, and Patabi Joyce. So the traditional teachers knew this.
Yeah. You need to be in your fucking body. Yeah. Right.
And it was all these Lizzie influenced
why would you not trust your soul or God? So
Right.
Are you saying that every time somebody tries to transcend their life, they're not trusting the intelligence of their soul, and they're certainly not trusting God?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to trust your soul, and your soul. Right. So you're saying your soul very much picked this experience.
Yeah.
And when you try to escape it, the soul's getting frustrated. Got to do this shit again because you keep failing the grades. You keep them to repeat the grades.
Right. So what's all this about? And I don't want to get off topic, but what's all this about opening up your third eye?
What? Who said?
Right. The New Age movement, the Lizzie movement.
Intuition. Yeah. So the third eye is really just part of, even though he says it's in the gut, like listen to your gut, not your forehead.
Right.
But people have turned it into something it's not. Ego.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, I'm better than you. Like that whole idea of I'm better than you because my third eye is...
I have more silence than you, inner silence than you. My vibrational frequency is...
Oh, peace, have inner silence.
Yeah. I've tried to tell people that.
Like,
there's just like nothing there, and that's why.
You can't turn your brain off. Like
right.
the chatter, the mental chatter, is part of self-reflection, even though the mind is part of the illusion, but it's understanding that the self-reflection through the mental chatter is not actually your soul. It's just a part of the ride.
Right.
It's the special effects of the ride, and it's not really you. Like, don't believe everything you think.
Right.
And but it's part of but you have to think to realize not to believe everything you think.
Right.
Right. And so basically you're saying like the body is even though the body, David Grieg used to call it the unattainable or the unanswerable, unsolvable riddle. I was about to say the unattainable unicorn. That was somebody that said that. The unsolvable riddle. Like the body matters so much, but also doesn't at the same time. You have to understand the body is here to house the soul for the ride. But once it's done, once you come to park and you could take your seatbelt off and move on to the next ride, you leave it behind.
Right.
Yes.
And you're here for the third density experience, not to escape the third density experience.
And it seems like the more you try to escape it, the more you have to come back. Oh, hence why you and I are wanderers, and some are still just souls.
Because if we all graduated at the same time,
if we all figured out at the same time, it would have moved up together. It's not moving up and making it better than anyone else. It's just certain souls figured it out faster,
right,
and move forward. Where time is eternal, so you can take as long as you like, but it's just you're going to be like a broken record. The soul is frustrated when it happens. Yeah. So the soul gets frustrated. I mean, I think that would be good if you got stuck riding the Batman ride over and over again.
Or repeating third grade over and over again. You start to get frustrated. And I guess the more frustration you bring into the next cycle probably makes it even harder.
Because it's karma.
Oh, right. Because it stacks up.
Yeah.
Does it stack up? Yeah.
Just makes the resistance even harder the next go round.
Right. Yeah.
So we started off, the blood is the foundation of the Shakti.
The first manifestation within the physical world of the Purusha.
Which works with the oxygen. The heart and the lungs work together. They pump together. The oxygen pumps the blood through the body, vice versa.
And that's why physical exercise is so important to third density.
Yeah, because it brings the blood and the oxygen, the pranayama, the extension of life force, into all aspects of the muscles, the fascia. It even challenges the mind. So that's why it becomes the meditation.
Yeah. Grounds you in the experience.
And you start to really know your body. You start to be in. You can't help but be in your body. When you're running a long distance, you are in your body. You feel everything. When you're in a bar class and you're doing those tucks and your body's on fire, and that fire is burning karma. Yeah. So the boiling of the blood. So that's what happens. Like when when you get hot and sweaty, when your lungs are pumping faster to keep the blood pressure with the oxygen as the more demand is put on the body. And you get hot, it's called tapas in Sanskrit. That's a functional heat or precise heat. You're actually burning karma.
Right. Because we had talked about before, there's no such thing as passively moving through karma. That you have to be physically active to be moving through your karma. Is that correct?
And even we look at like fevers, for example. When you get a fever, what is your body doing? It's turning the heat up to burn a virus, to burn germs,
or to burn toxins out of your system that have built up
to bring the body. So when you're in exercise and you're getting sweaty and you're getting hot, that fire is burning away impurities. Now we have the physical impurities of bad food choices, alcohol, all that kind of stuff. But we also have, and that gets to the aerobic and the anaerobic, where the anaerobic is burning the glucose, which is also, if everything physical is manifested by consciousness, then the glucose, the fat, the sugar stored in your body is manifested through consciousness too. So one does not nullify the other, they come together.
Right.
So when you're burning glucose, when you're burning fats, building muscle, you're literally burning thoughts.
Oh, right.
And karmic attachments.
Do Are thoughts stored within our physical body?
I love when he does this.
Duh.
Yes, duh.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So even more important that you're moving your body
and move through the carpet.
And how tapas is not just burning physical toxins, but it's also
because it's one and the same.
Yeah,
it's one and the same.
Right.
Because if consciousness creates matter, what came first, the chicken or the egg? If consciousness has created matter, then every emotion the body keeps the score. Every emotion you've had, every stressor you've had, stores in the body. And so when you actually heat the body up, send the blood into the
all
life
the spaces,
force through the fascia, through the muscle, through the ligaments, into everywhere. Not only is it healing it, but it's then pulling up and pushing out through sweat, through emotion. Is that, so that's why people, you said this earlier, Lou, in a previous video, that it's this point where people usually quit a practice because they start to get emotional. They're sore. They start to have headaches sometimes, the yoga fever. And that is like when the practice is really working.
That's the real shadow work. Is there such thing as doing shadow work without exercise? They should go. It has to go hand in hand.
Everything else assists, but the work has to be physical. Because physicality is your soul in motion. So the work has to be physical because physicality is your soul in motion.
That's deep. Yeah.
So the talk therapies, all that kind of stuff, the Reikis, the massage therapy, that assist journaling, that assists it, that helps it. But the main thing, and it makes me think, Lou, like when we store everything, it's like if you were to deep clean your house, but you took all the trash and just shoved it into drawers.
Yeah, right.
It's
or
really
just
not
pushed
clean.
it in the corner.
Or under the rug. It's really not clean. It's still there. There has to be an evacuation.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. And so what was it he just said? The soul, the work has to be physical because the physicality is the soul in motion.
Right. Yes.
So that's why there has to be workouts, like exercise and practices. What did Patabi Joyce say? What was one of Patabi Joyce's quotes?
I don't know what.
1% theory.
Oh, right. Yeah.
99% practice.
And it's
1% theory, 99% practice.
Yeah.
And I always tell students when it starts getting, like when you first create an exercise program or you get involved in like a yoga shala, there's like a honeymoon phase where it's fun, it's new, it's exciting, it's like having a new toy.
Yeah.
But then once you wake up and you don't want to go to the shala and your body, that's when it's really starting.
Right.
And you're emotional and your nerves are on edge.
Yeah.
And you're crying for no reason, that's when it's really started. Is when it's miserable, when it's not fun.
Right. And you eventually get really sore and that brings up its own stuff. And I
mean, I've noticed for me in the almost 20 years, or February 3rd to be 20 years, like I'll go through like phases where my practice is like really, really strong and great and fun. And then all of a sudden it gets, the same practice will get really hard again.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can't do it anymore. But I know going down through that valley, I'm eventually going to purge. I'm going through another purge. And when I usually purge, I drop even deeper into the same.
And I've realized, especially lately, since I've really upped my physicality to a new level, that I'm not so concerned with the body anymore. The body, right. And so.
Oh, yeah, I get just as self-consciousness in a bathing suit as most women, but I don't. I mean, I'm not out wearing short shorts and tank tops and.
Yeah.
You don't really, it's just a feeling in it's setting up a feeling. So yeah, it's not vanity. It stops being vanity.
Right. Yeah. Your body sort of becomes in its own way, sort of transparent and just the vehicle for the soul.
It's a living, breathing temple. Oh, you told me that? I can't take credit for that. The The body's the living, breathing temple
Right.
of the soul.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
And so we have to
And
pay
it's
attention to it.
Right. And it's showing gratitude when you take care of your body. I think it's showing you gratitude for the experience that you've been given here.
Yeah, your body's alive. I say that a lot in the classes on Fusion Body Studio, that, you know, when it gets really hard and we're at a point in the practice or the workout class that's really, really hard, I'll say, you know, this is you being alive. You're feeling sensation. We spend so much time trying not to die that we forget to actually feel life, to feel into the nervous system.
Right. And when it starts to get hard, that's the place where the real work is being done.
Yeah, because that's when you're in a place of humility too.
Right.
Right. So we see, like the Cassiopeans, for example, we see a lot of ego, a lot of narcissism. There's no humility.
Right.
But then you go into a yoga shala and you're going to see a lot of humility. You know, you're not special.
Because you're faced with your limitations on a daily basis.
And your own triggers
and you ground into that, and that helps bring the ego under control, I think. Yeah. Yeah. And then when the ego is under control, it feels like that you're more open to receive more knowledge, and
fear subsides because you're not so afraid of death.
Right.
Because you know it's going to happen. It's inevitable. And you might enjoy, like Sri Swami Satitananda in his commentaries of the Yoga Sutras always says, the more you realize that you're not your ego, the more you can actually enjoy the ride.
Right.
It's like,
because you feel like you're really living your life.
Because you know it's a ride. You know that it's like when you go to Six Flags, like, you know, you're having fun all day. You're eating the funnel cakes because you know that that's the point.
Right.
And as Lou said many videos ago, that wanderers, a sixth density, come back because we love it.
Right.
We love the ride. Because we were saying, like, I think it was in a private, we were like, well, why we don't want to come back? And Lou was like, no, your soul's already planning its next trip back.
Right.
Like,
yeah, you
love it.
Right. Yeah.
You love going to the amusement park.
Yeah. We actually, I think by wandering, in a way, it keeps us from moving on to another density, because we want to keep having this experience of this third density experience. And it's,
oh, you want me to quote Thoth about creation from the Emerald Tablets? So Thoth says in the Emerald Tablets, this is one of the most profound things, because the Emerald Tablets kind of mirror the Law of One and Yoga Sutras and a lot of what Thoth teaches. And he says the only reason why you know life now is because you know death.
Right.
And because you know life, you can create. The creation chakras in the humanity.
Yeah.
We can, as souls, just pure souls, we don't know death. So therefore we don't know life.
Right.
But when we drop into these bodies, because we're on a time frame and we're growing and changing and going through this evolution of Prakriti, we know how we can create.
Right. Yeah. And
we have that ability.
Right. And it's I guess death looming over you is the drive to move forward and to live life to its fullest, I suppose.
What's the I hate country music, but there's just that one country music song that always makes me cry about the guy who got diagnosed with a big C. I don't think we can say that on YouTube. And it was like, the courses I went skydiving, I went Rocky Mountain climbing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I rode 2.7 seconds on a bull named Fu Manchu. You know, everything. I love Deeper. I'm getting emotional. I spoke sweeter. Yeah.
Yeah. So that the assurance that we're going to pass away
makes you enjoy that nectar of life more.
Right. Is the fuel to make us want to really drop into the experience.
Live this experience here on earth, because our soul knows, our ego. So for some reason, our ego thinks we're just always going to be us, but our soul knows that whatever body you're in, you know, it's like David Garrigues used to, whenever he had a student that had some major limitation, he would get very fascinated by that student. It was like, he'd always say it was interesting. Like, this is, I practiced with a person who was an amputee once and had a fake leg. And even though this guy had his metal leg for like 20 years and was totally used to it, for David, it was exciting to work. And it's like seeing those, you know, so many people, I see anyway, come on and say they can't do something because they're in a wheelchair. They can't do something because X, Y, and Z. And it's like, no, that's just part of your ride. Like, that's what makes it interesting. You're in a wheelchair. Great. You can work your arms. You can, there's so many videos of people, how are you going to work? Like, that's what's exciting. And that's what Sri Swami Chitananda was saying, is once you realize that you are not your limitations simulation of special effects created by your soul for this experience, you embrace it.
Right. Because the limitations become the potentiators.
Exactly.
Right.
Say that again, Todd.
Your limitations become your potentiators when you accept them and you start to work with them. Just like when I get yoga students that are naturally strong and flexible, it takes them longer usually to really reap the full benefits of the practice. It's the ones that are stiff and weak that immediately feel the benefits. And so there's not a whole lot of.
Yeah, they create wisdom faster.
Right. Yeah.
Well, David Grieg used to say the ones who struggle in primary series are the lucky ones because their karma came up early.
Right. Yeah. And the reason why there's all the advanced series is to make sure that we can find your ultimate point of challenge that is enough to transform you. And so some people, the lucky ones, come in and they're immediately challenged with just the sun salutation.
Yeah.
And consider yourself lucky.
Right.
Yeah.
And consider, we have so many people, they struggle with weight, which is really common in our timeline and karma.
Yeah.
And so, oh, that makes sense, Lou. Overindulgent weight issues, obesity issues in our timeline is because in past timelines, there's been starvation issues where people haven't had enough food.
Oh, interesting.
And so the soul picked an opportunity to now challenge the other side of that, of having too much food and using food as an emotional crutch because it can.
Yeah.
Okay. But, weight can bear a lot of pressure on the joints. And so sun salutations at first for an overweight person can be very challenging, but you're immediately starting to shed that karma. Right. You're immediately starting to challenge yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think people think they're victims a lot, but they're not. There's actually wisdom. I always think wherever your weakness is, that's actually where your strength is.
Yeah.
Because I know in yoga too, the postures that you can do very comfortably is not where yoga is. It's the ones that really challenge you is where the real yoga is, because it forces your mind in the moment. It forces you to face yourself.
Yeah. And as a teacher, the hardest work is dealing with the ones that are naturally flexible and strong. You have to pay more attention and make sure push them more and pay more attention and keep them on track. And the other ones, the ones that are having the hardest time, it's oh, this is great. This is easy for both of us to find that point of challenge and transformation. So, yeah.
Oh, you want me to say all the antigen now? So we've gotten that basic understanding of blood. Mm-hmm. So we have multiple different blood types that Lou wants me to say, because I have them memorized now because I've covered them on my channel.
Yeah.
You have O negative, O positive, A negative, A positive, B negative, B positive, AB negative, AB positive. So anytime you have a negative, O negative, A negative, B negative, AB negative, that is someone who is RH negative. And that means they do not have the RH factor in their blood.
And therefore they have lighter blood. Is that how you would put that?
Open.
Okay.
I think you mean because an O negative has the lightest of blood.
Okay.
So if you have, because I'm O negative, Todd's A negative. So both of us are rhesus negative. And that's only 15% of the world's population are rhesus negative. 85% of the world's population has what's called the RH factor. Now they named it the RH factor because of the rhesus monkey.
Okay, how is that?
In name. So there's a part of so RH negatives have absolutely no biological DNA match to monkeys, correct? That's why a lot of some blood doctors call us a different species. But he's saying, I think what you're saying is we're not a different species because the RH positive factor that kind of resembles part of the rhesus monkey is what gave way to this concept of evolution from monkey to man.
Oh, I see why Lou said Lizzie. it was Lizzie information that was instilled within
Yes,
us. To
which
think that-
mirrors the evolution of second density to third density, but doesn't happen that way, correct?
right, because
Yeah,
we
it
did,
doesn't happen that
because RH positives did not evolve from monkeys. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah.
But
my next board's going to have correct on it.
but that's a good way that the negative side, because the darkness can't create anything, it can only steal from the light and invert it. So we do, our soul does, second density is animal, third density human, and so forth, but we don't evolve in Prakriti.
Right.
We don't change species in Prakriti.
Right.
Prakriti is survival of the fittest, is correct, right? Yes. So like our bodies adapt to the environment. Like Ravi is a street dog. You and I all have very much genetic markers are coming from Northern Europe, but we live in a hot setting, so our body has adapted to.
Right.
You know, that is correct, but
Right.
we don't change species within Prakriti.
Right.
Like within the evolution of Prakriti, your soul has to leave,
right,
re-come back, and then come in a new species.
And the soul manifests the body.
Yes.
Yes.
Cro-Magnon man. Before the Neanderthal. This is so bloodline, the book Bloodlines of the Gods is correct with this. Yes.
Oh.
So we have two for YouTube. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only, allegedly.
Yeah.
Do your own research.
Right.
We have these artifacts, these remains of what's called Cro-Magnon man and the Neanderthal. Cro-Magnon man, all of the remains are Rh negative. Cro-Magnon man disrupts the theory of evolution because they were here on the planet at the same time as the Neanderthal was. Was the Neanderthal Rh negative? No. Cro-Magnon man, when they find like old homesteads and tombs of Cro-Magnon man, they were not animalistic, correct? They had burial rituals. They could tell by their vocal cords. They could speak a language.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
They had jewelry,
art.
But Neanderthal, we've been told, looks a little bit more animalistic.
It lived a little more animalistic.
Yes. So Lou's bringing this up. Why?
Wanderers. So that, yeah, I remember we were talking to Lou privately about this and how Cro-Magnon man were the wanderers that came down.
First for this beginning cycle.
Right.
Us.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And then the Neanderthals
were the souls.
With our native soul. And
learn from Cro-Magnon.
Yeah.
They tell us that from the last, and this, depending on the research, some of the research I read when I was looking at Cro-Magnon, that they never coexisted. Is that correct? No.
And also they said that they lived millions of years ago. Is that correct? Right.
No.
We're talking approximately 75,000 years ago, because that's how long a third density started. Yes, that's a third density cycle. It has to fit into the third. It has to fit into the logic of the third density cycle. And so, yeah, that's an important thing.
So, are you bringing this into conversation because of how the negative and the positives now are mixed together? So I'm just getting chill bumps. So the Wanderers, Todd, myself, multiple people watching, volunteered. Yay, let's come back. Let's do this. We bought another ticket to come to the amusement park. Our souls created a body because there is no, especially with O negative, because the consciousness is creating the body, and because can a sixth density wanderer exist in a Rh positive body? It's too heavy.
Yeah,
it's too heavy.
And as Lou had said before, that if it were to happen, if a wanderer dropped into an Rh positive body, it would basically just destroy. It would just destroy the body. So, not that it would ever
not live. It wouldn't live.
Right.
So when we were manifesting these Cro-Magnon, as we call it, bodies, they were all Rh negative to house it.
Mm-hmm.
the soul people came into the Neanderthal, and then the Cro-Magnon intermixed with the Neanderthal. But did the Cro-Magnon know that they were wanderers? No, because we had the veil of amnesia.
Right.
We just had some semblance of memory of society.
Right. Our veil is a little thinner, so we were able to pull from our past experiences
without really knowing that's what was going on.
Right. Yeah. That's what gave us the art and the structure of society and ways to live. Yeah. And so I don't want to get too far off subject, but there is this conspiracy about how our blood was manipulated by the Lizzies. Right. Yeah. And so people think,
oh, that's a lie Laura made up.
Right.
And she made that up. Did the Cassiopeans tell her that? No. Did she create that because she's jealous?
Because she's
positive.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And not a wanderer. And
there's no need to be jealous.
Right.
So you said to say the antigen. So like I'm O negative. So most O negatives are wanderers. Yes. Because there's a lot. We know that with O negatives, there's a lot more oxygen in the blood. O negatives have a way higher. You see it with me. Like I'm the energizer. I just go.
Right, yeah. Well, the O negative especially.
Because
A negative is just lazy.
No, that's what I'm talking about. O negatives. Like a lot of. Yes, they're very lazy. Todd.
It's my constant struggle. It's my karma.
Yeah. Well, Lou's getting there. Yeah, he's getting there. So like O negatives like myself, because we have way more energy, kinetic energy within our blood and our oxygen. We have the blood in the it's lighter, so more oxygen in the blood. Most professional athletes are O negative.
Right. And it makes sense. If you ever have an O negative in your life and you wonder, they're like the Energizer Bunny. It's crazy.
You used to try to force me to nap, and I'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like,
right.
I'm not 5.
Okay. Stop.
I don't need a nap. What are you talking about? And so that it's there's a lot of prana.
Yeah.
So now we get to so O positives also have a lot of oxygen in their blood, so they can go for a long period of time, but they are not wanderers. Is that correct? Yes.
Right.
So if you're O positive, which is that's the biggest blood group. Is that because of Cro-Magnon man? Yeah. So Cro-Magnon man brought in the O negative, and it mixed. So that's why there's so many people with O positive blood.
Right. Everyone wanted the O blood.
The O blood, the no antigens.
I wish I had
energy.
This life.
You could have because your dad's O. You picked A.
Yeah.
So A antigen, protein antigen, we've learned is a difficult antigen to work with. So A's struggle with energy,
motivation,
but they're also very anal retentive.
Okay, let's not go too far into this.
But we also look at diet too. So there's a big discrepancy between O negative diet and O positive diet, because I don't do well with any animal fats at all.
Right, yeah.
But a lot of O positives crave meat.
So
I think that's a difference between the RH factor. But I know A positive and A negative do really well with raw diets. And when you do cleanses, you do raw juice cleanses. Right. Yeah. And you do really, and I can't do that. That's the A blood.
Yeah.
And so Lou, if somebody is A positive or A negative and they think they just have to nap all day, should they be napping all day? No. That's their karma. So that's your resistance. That's your work, is to learn how to resist that, how to work through that. You said something quite empowering the other day. You're like, now that I'm not napping, I actually feel better. You said you were feeling better.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It was dead energy.
Right. Yeah. And it perpetuates itself if you're not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about karma, though. What you're resisting, because all karma is your work. It's things you came to work on.
Right.
So Todd picked the A antigen, because his soul wanted to work on that. He wanted to add that resistance. It's
the extra challenge,
a weighted vest you put on.
Because Lou had said in Britain, and we're not going to get into the whole past life thing, but in previous lives I was always O, and just decided, okay, let's
try this.
Yeah, let's try this.
Then we got B, which my sister is B negative.
They're the most fun.
Yeah, they're the most fun. B positive and B negatives are the most fun. And my mom is too.
Yeah.
She likes to party.
Right.
B's are typically really laid back.
Mm-hmm.
They're usually pretty good athletes as well. They don't have the endurance that an O negative does. They fade out faster than an O negative.
Mm-hmm.
But like my sisters are really, but they're very laid back in a lot of ways. Like my sister, you go to her house and it's beautiful. Her house is beautiful, beautifully decorated.
Yeah.
And it's clean,
Mm-hmm.
but there's always just toys everywhere, right?
Right.
And she's like, whatever. I got 4 kids. It's fine.
Doesn't stress about a lot.
No, it doesn't stress about a lot. There's like, we've walked up at Christmas, there were like socks in the driveway, like little kids' socks with Minnie Mouse, you know, beautiful house, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know, and she just, whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine. They're young. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's more of a B.
Right.
A B. And that's how my mom is too, isn't she?
Yeah.
My mom's pretty laid back. They get their stuff done. Like they're responsible, but they're kind of laid back.
Right.
Like, how would you explain? Because you have all A's and O's in your family. I have B's and O's in my family.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of B's in my life. So I don't know. You would.
Well, my family.
Well, yeah, your family.
So what's your experience with like my mom and my sister as B's?
The air feels clear. There's not a whole lot of tension. You know, there's a playfulness to it, a laid back nature. It's like, it's
oh, they like to laugh. B's,
you're right.
They like to joke up and kid around. And
yeah, it's something I really like to drop into. It makes you feel comfortable.
Oh, I don't know if I can say that. They like their adult beverages, and they like their psychedelics, and they dirt twirl. Like that's
they love music.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just it's a fun vibe. Yeah,
B's are fun. So my mom and my sister are both B negative.
Yeah.
And then AB's negative, AB positive. So AB negative, AB. That's probably one I would assume one of the hardest karmas to deal with, because you've got two conflicting antigens.
Because you want to party, but you're too tired.
But you're also anal retentive.
Right.
And I know some ABs. I know people who are AB, and they say it's a struggle because they're constantly feeling that.
Yeah.
That yo-yo back and forth between like wanting to cut up and be, but also being anal retentive.
Right.
Yeah.
I think I've known some of those too.
ABs. So, you know, when it comes to like, so are you saying that for people to understand, is it really important for people to know their blood types? Because that gives them a clue of what their work is in this life. Yeah. Yeah. And also, I think it would also, because I know for me, Lou, being O negative, like I sometimes, especially when I was running, when I was a big runner, I could run too much. So like for me, I have to make sure I'm pulling my cardio back and not doing too much cardio, because I will go and go. Well, no, I'll just go. Yeah. My knee will be busted and I'll keep going. Yeah.
And when I know I have O negative practitioners, sometimes I have to tell them like,
pull it back a little bit.
Pull it back. And it's okay to, some days you just, it's best to rest.
I'm laughing because like, for a long time I was taught every day. O negatives don't need motivation.
No.
To exercise.
No. A
negatives do. What was the most, because Lou, when we first started doing this with you, Todd, you thought by resting you were like conserving your energy.
Right. Yeah.
And Lou was like, no, you're killing yourself.
It's like, even though I practice Ashtanga very intensely, and it's the most intense and physically demanding form of yoga, I still had this idea that I had to pull back a little bit as I got older because I didn't want to wear my body out. Right. And Lou's laughing at me for that, but it's not true. It's like,
as young? Oh, you're only as young as your body.
Right. Yeah.
So if you let your body age, you're going to age.
Exactly. And now that I've upped the amount of exercise, almost double, I feel younger. I look younger.
Your eyes look clearer. Your skin looks clearer.
Yeah. And I realize how too much rest was just really deadening me. Like it was dulling me. And
only babies and sick people need naps.
Yeah.
Only, as you kept saying, you're not a baby anymore. You don't need to take. Now you're not growing. Your body's not growing.
That was the first work that Lou was doing on me.
Just getting you to, he changed right away. The minute, it's almost like when Lou said that to you, you had this like prativa, this like flash of illumination where you all of a sudden realize like, oh shit, that's right. Because a body in motion stays in motion.
Right. Yeah.
Blood in motion keeps the life pumping, keeps the karma. Right. So what you were doing by napping too much is you were avoiding karma.
Right. Yeah. Avoiding the work. Yeah. That I chose.
Yeah. And isn't it funny? Because Todd's a master yoga teacher, so he knows about karma. He knows all about this, but it doesn't matter how advanced you are, how the ego will always find ways to trick you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's Lizzie's. That's not just the Lizzie's. It's part of the
right. And if you had asked me at that time, you know, I would say, well, I resonate with naps.
Oh, ego. Yeah.
Exactly.
Resonating is usually your ego. It's not. It's not. In fact, it's your ego. It's your illusionary self.
That's what I feel like I should do, and it's like, well, that's not. Sometimes the work is where
feelings aren't facts.
Right.
Feelings aren't facts.
Right. Yeah.
They're the ego. They're the false sense of self.
Yeah.
So that's I was gonna say something, but I can't remember. Oh, was that what I was? Okay. What did you learn about dance? Like the other day, for example, we were talking about our childhood,
right?
About dancing, and how like growing up, because we were talking about with Lou, because you're a drummer, you're a percussionist, you keep the beat, and when you drive in the car with him, he's constantly beating.
Yeah.
But since doing bar with me, he's having a really hard time dancing.
Right.
And we both have been kind of getting cracked up. Like we start laughing when we do it together
because my drum play would make people dance all day.
But he can't catch the beat in his body. He can catch it in his hands, but not in his body. And so we started talking to Lou about it. Like, what's going on? And Lou basically said, like, because Todd never danced growing up. And we got into it, like, growing up in my house, there was always music playing. We were always dancing and goofing around. Right. We were free in my house growing up to have life in our bodies, to have fun.
The energy was moving in your environment.
Yeah, we were joyful.
Right.
There was joy in my house growing up because my mom is what?
Be positive.
Be negative.
Be negative. Sorry. Yeah.
So my mom and my aunts are fun too. We just grew up, you know, very Southern, but they're fun. My family's fun. My mom's family's fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're fun people. And I asked, and then so Lou had me talk about that. Like my mom had all of her records. My sister and I used to play with her records in the house and dance.
Right.
I think I said once on a show, I don't know if I've told you this, that I thought my dad wrote Hotel California.
Oh, right.
Because he would pull his electric guitar out and he'd play it.
Yeah.
And I was embarrassingly old. Like I was like in the 8th grade when I realized that was not my dad's song. So music was just a part. My grandmother, Marianne, was a pianist. Like music was just very much a part of our culture.
Right.
Even at holidays today, we go to my sister's house or my mom's house and there's music playing on the speaker.
Right. The kids are dancing.
Dancing. I've got an adorable video of Jacqueline, our second to oldest niece. She's a teenager now, but she's in her car seat singing a Beatles song, you know,
and moving around and
dancing.
And that I didn't have that experience in my childhood.
And that was on it.
It was the polar opposite.
It was very dead energy in your childhood.
Right.
Do you want to explain that? Like,
well, no, that's just why I can't catch the beat in my body now because it was stifled when I was a child.
Because your life force was put out.
Yeah. Right.
You weren't allowed to like move.
Right.
And that's
Go ahead.
the blood flow.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so skateboarding was a way for you to
bring that back.
To try to bring that back.
Right.
Subconsciously.
Right.
So if Todd had grown up allowed to like enjoy music and play music loud in the house with his sisters and dance and see his parents dance, would he have ever skateboarded?
Oh, interesting. Yeah, that makes sense. Why?
Because you had to leave the house, run away from the house in order to do that. You couldn't do it in your house.
Move my body, push the board, and
and jump and feel.
Right. So that brought that back into my life, and that's yes. And then I went through another little period of downtime when I quit skateboarding, but then yoga came into my life, and it was all of a sudden like, yeah.
But dance is important because it's spontaneous.
Right.
So it's, you have your structured practice.
Right. Yes. And
you're working on actually intelligently moving the blood structurally, right. But then you also need times
to just be goofy,
because it goes back to that creation.
Right.
And that's, you don't know life. You know life because you know death.
Right.
And that's a part of that creation.
Yeah. And skateboarding was structured as well. And so
you never had a chance just to be goofy.
Right.
Just to, and I've even noticed that we've been together forever, but like at weddings, like you would get uncomfortable when people would date. Like that made you uncomfortable.
Yeah, because it sort of wasn't allowed in our house.
You weren't allowed to be alive.
It wasn't encouraged.
Oh, Lou's asking you, Todd, was there joy in your house growing up?
When I was really young, when I was out of the house with my sisters, but not within the house. No, I was always wanting to escape in the house because there was not joy.
That's because service to self can't control joy.
Right. We had talked about that. And so, yeah.
So joy, you're saying joy comes with blood flow. That makes sense. People who exercise a lot tend to be happier, more peaceful. And when you're in a state of joy, you always use the word joy versus happiness. Is there a reason for that, Lou? Oh, because there's more peace with joy. Joy is more consistent than like being happy. That's more volatile. So when people are like, I feel joyful and peaceful after because, since working out this morning, I have and you're not as controllable.
Right.
Your emotions can't be manipulated as much.
Right. Because the soul can't be boxed in, I guess.
Yeah. Because you're allowed to let that life force move.
When you have the full energy of your soul moving through your body, it can't be controlled. It can't be contained.
But when you're when you're vulnerable, so what happens when something's close to death? It's vulnerable.
Right.
So when you're pushing that joy out, there's a vulnerability within the person, and that soul becomes controllable.
Right.
That's deep. All from dancing.
Right. Yeah.
Please. Your kids to dance. Lou just said, please encourage your kids to dance. So are you advising our people to turn the music up real loud in their house and have dance parties?
Yeah, we had talked about that recently.
When they're young too, because that matters. It affects them.
And we were talking about how that's the best protection for children from
because they're moving their health, they're moving their karma. They're not getting attachments.
Control, right?
Yeah,
that's shedding off the attachment.
It's letting them live autonomous. And
it's already starting to move through their karma. You would think as a young child, and it's probably even more potent when a child moves through their karma.
It's healthy for kids and adults too. And I also think this may be a little bit more subtle, but like I fear my parents in the sense that I respect them, but I'm not afraid of my parents because I had a home of love and joy. I was allowed to be myself. I was allowed to dance. My sister and I were allowed to go. We would go into the family room and turn the stereo up and dance because we didn't have headphones. We would turn it up on the booth, the CDs, And we would dance. And my parents must have been on the other side of the house, covering their ears because it was so loud, but they let us do that. They never stopped us from doing that. Not once, did they? Because they wanted my sister and I to have joy.
Right.
And memories. Because my mom and her sisters did it too. Yeah, my mom and her sisters did that as kids too.
Yeah.
And my cousins and I, we would all, I've told you this story before. There's a really funny story. Is it a Bob Dylan song? Everybody must get. So they used to play that, my mom and her sisters, and then we were at a vacation Bible school, and my cousins started singing it, and they were so embarrassed. But one of my aunts thought it was hysterical that they were on the playground and the husband too. But that's just an example of that joy of that being a part of our life growing up.
Yeah.
Very stark difference from your childhood.
Yeah.
The control,
manipulation, the attempt to deaden my soul,
to control it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but that A antigen lends more to that control. So that's something you fight. That's
Right.
part of the karma, which isn't bad. It's just that's the resistance.
Yeah. It's the challenge that I chose.
Kids watch parents.
Oh,
They watch
yeah.
their parents.
Yeah.
I'll let them see you exercise. So Lou's like, we've talked about that too. Like I would see my parents go run and go play tennis.
Right. Yeah.
So let your kids see you exercise. I know when they're super young, they don't need to be doing like a controlled exercise. Oh, let me ask it this way. If kids are under the age of 8, 9, 10-ish, should they be doing a controlled exercise? No, it should be just spontaneous playing outside,
running
dancing,
around, chasing each other.
But when they get,
climbing trees,
I think it depends on the age between 10 and 14, depending on the maturity, is when the controlled. Yeah.
No.
So really young, they should see you doing your controlled exercise every day, but they should to get it, their minds ready for that.
Right.
But then that's interesting. This has been really enlightening. I did not expect this to go this way. I thought it was going to be just talking about like the conspiracy stuff.
No, never with Lou.
But that's interesting. We kind of went full circle back to life force.
Right. Yeah.
Is there anything you want to ask or add to that, Todd or Lou? Is there anything you want to say? Sorry, guys. He does this sometimes. He's never done it on the camera before.
All right.
Goodbye.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, ask us any questions. This has been very enlightening.
This is a fun one.
It's a fun one.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad Lou gave us that little lesson. Go dance. That's your homework.
Yeah.
Go dance.
Get the prana moving.
Get the prana moving.
All right. Move through the karma.
Let us know any of your questions down below.
All right.
All right.
Thanks
Bye,
for
guys.
joining us.